Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Or if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Dana. I upload a new video at least once a week, and whenever I can, I like to add in an extra or two. So if you haven't already, now is a great time to subscribe to my channel to stay on top of all of my new videos, because it is the perfect season for tea after all, and a lot of my content is tea related. And today is no different. I have another tea from DAVIDSTEA to review, and this one is called Mom's Apple Pie. So you all know the drill. I like to get my tea steeping first and foremost so that we can check out the loose tea and ingredients while it's already going, and then we can taste it. So I'm making it in a metal basket infuser. These are actually the ones that I sell on Amazon. And if you're in need of one of these, it'll be linked in the description below any one of my videos. But let's open up this bag and get our tea going. It's a green tea, so it doesn't need too much time to steep. And I have my water on a lower temperature because we don't want to oversteep this guy. Ooh, it smells different than I expected. All right, so just a scoop into the infuser and get it steeping. All right, now we'll set this to the side for just like 4 minutes or so that we can let it steep, but not too long because it's a green tea. So it is at definite risk of oversteeping, and we can't be having that, especially not for our first impression. So I remember when I first started working at DAVIDSTEA, seeing this tea on the wall, Mom's Apple Pie, and wanting to try it, but you know, I was going through my whole list. My boss gave me like a list of all the teas, and I'd like highlight them off after I tried a cup of each one, and I just didn't get around to this tea before it was gone. It was all sold out, it was limited edition, whatever, so it was gone forever, and I sort of just moved on and forgot about it. But then I saw that it was back, and I was like, oh my God, I never got to try that one, and now is my chance. So this is an exciting day for me. But let's read the ingredients and like check out what we can find out from the label here. So Mom's Apple Pie, it's a green tea, and the ingredients are just green tea, apple, cinnamon, artificial apple and cinnamon flavoring. So this tea is a lot more simple than I expected. Let's look at the website though on my phone here so we can get a little more information, because now that we have these kinds of labels and not like the old white ones that we used to get when we go into the store, we don't get like a full description on there anymore. Okay, so Mom's Apple Pie, it says sweet apples with a hint of cinnamon and refreshing green tea. Here's the description. This tea will bring you right back to your childhood. Thanks to the spicy aroma of cinnamon, the sweet smell of apples baking in the oven, and the fresh green tea blend. Don't remember that last part? Okay, so we added the green tea. It's a great way to bring all the nostalgic flavor of Mom's dessert right to your mug. So wherever you go, you've got the warm memories, but not the calories. Mom would improve. I like how they had to throw that in about the calories. I mean, are we thinking about that when we drink tea? I mean, do you ever really look at like the calories in a tea? Because I sure don't. Like, I know if I'm choosing to drink tea over like Kool-Aid or soda or milkshake or something like that, like I already know that like I've already made a good choice. So I never, even when I used to count calories, I never counted tea as calories, even if it was like a more decadent blend with a few calories, because what's the most it could be, like 10? Like, what makes it great? It's like sipping a cup of fall comfort. According to aromatherapy principles, cinnamon enhances your ability to concentrate, and the perfect dose of nostalgia. I guess I kind of thought that this tea would have a little bit more like sweetness element to it because it is apple pie and not just like Mom's apple cinnamon or apple cinnamon green or something like that. I guess I kind of expected like a sweet, like, I don't know, like a buttery crust element. I don't know. It smells really good and appley and definitely like fall, so I love that. You can definitely tell that there is some like artificial stuff going on. The thing with apple in teas is that it provides more of like just a sweetness than a flavor. So sometimes you'll see apple in teas that it sort of seems weird in because it doesn't really provide that apple flavor. So to create an apple tea, as far as I know, you do have to really add in some kind of flavoring. And I don't know why, but this is reminding me of a Christmas tea. I don't know if it's Sleigh Ride that it's reminding me of, but Sleigh Ride is a David's Tea Christmas tea that has like a lot of different elements. I think there is apple and cinnamon, but then there's like popped rice, hibiscus. But I'm getting like a small sort of hint of something like that. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and be on the safe side and take the infuser out now before it oversteeps. Wow, beautiful color. Look at that gorgeous color. I love green tea. It's just so pretty, isn't it? I love it so much. But I'll keep it to the side. We'll let it like cool a little and really get into these ingredients. So it doesn't say what kind of green tea this is. I kind of like when they add that in, like when it's like Chinese green tea or Japanese green tea, at least like something to go by. It doesn't look bright green like Essentia would, so I'm thinking it might be a Chinese green tea, because it does really make a difference in the flavors. I have a whole series about the different tea types and like how they're made and how they're processed. And in my green tea video, I sort of go into the differences between green tea that's processed in Japan versus green tea that's processed in China. And I'm not really sure about this one, but on the bag here, it says product of Germany, which is kind of interesting. But it does definitely have like an artificial apple-y thing going on. I feel like my sort of taste for apple flavored drinks, like when it has like that artificial apple in it, like I feel like it's sort of been like tainted, because when I used to drink alcohol, my favorite alcohol was whiskey. And my husband got me Crown Royal Regal Apple once as a gift before we were married, but I really liked it. But now whenever I drink like things that have the artificial apple taste in them, like not like apple ciders and things like that, I'm still all good with those, and like apple juice, but like there's this specific apple thing that I taste that reminds me of that. But luckily enough, I never like overdid it with Crown Royal Regal Apple, so I don't like feel put off by it or anything. It just always reminds me of that. Like I'm like, this smells like whiskey, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. It smells like apple, and you're confusing it because you used to drink apple whiskey. But I'm really surprised how simple this tea is. We can definitely spot every ingredient. Green tea, apple. We got these little apple pieces here. Cinnamon, little barky boys. There's a piece of cinnamon, little piece. Ooh, I wish it had like chunks of cinnamon like that Sleigh Ride Christmas tea does have. It has like little chunks of cinnamon sticks, which is really special. And then just the artificial flavoring. I'm curious, I have this apple tea from Adagio. It's a David's Tea tin, but it's a spiced apple chai. And even they have natural apple flavoring in there. And David's Tea this is artificial flavoring. So the difference between artificial flavoring and natural flavoring that I was taught when I worked at David's Tea was natural flavoring is flavor extracted from the actual thing that it is. So if it's natural apple flavoring, it's the flavor extracted like from the apple and put into the tea. But if it's artificial flavoring, it's like, so say you took that natural flavoring and you have it like in a petri dish or whatever, and then a scientist looked at it and perfectly replicated it, but in a man-made way. That's the way I was taught. I know that there could be some bias to it because David's Tea does use artificial flavors, so they want to make it sound as good as possible, I guess, like as appealing as possible, and not like anything like bad or fake or weird. So I was taught that it's like chemically the same as the natural flavor, but then, you know, I don't really know for sure. So I'm always open to hearing more information on that. This one does have the artificial. I guess it sort of reminds me of David's Tea's Honey Crisp Apple, which was another green tea with apple in it. But that one like didn't have like cinnamon or anything. It did have some hibiscus though. So it had like a little bit of tartness, but it wasn't like a spiced kind of thing. It was just like just a fresh, crisp apple. So this one I think is gonna be pretty similar to that, but with the cinnamon flavor, which I love. Like, who doesn't love an apple cinnamon tea in fall? And we are right at the beginning of fall right now. I love this time of year. September and October are like my favorite months, I think. It's just so enjoyable to celebrate fall and to like really have like an extra reason to drink hot, cozy, spiced teas and to like wear cute sweaters. Like, I'm so excited for it. But I think we are about ready to try it, so let's go ahead. I kind of like it. I mean, it's not like hit you over the head crazy flavors. It's simple, you know, it's not like super spiced. But it's like, it's definitely baked apple-y. It's got that like baked apple kind of vibe. Yeah, it really does. It tastes like apple pie filling, but it's not, you know, there are a lot of teas David's Tea has that are very strong in flavor and very like over the top that I love, but I also love straight teas. So this is sort of a happy medium, you know, like it's lightly flavored, but it's well done. It really is. It does taste like a spiced baked apple, like an apple pie filling. A little less sweet, obviously, because there isn't like any sort of sweetening element in this besides the apples themselves, which I think provide more sweetness than you realize, you know, more sweetness than you would think. It definitely tastes less artificial than the tea smelled. It smelled like an apple candy almost, but it tastes much more like toned down. It's really good. I really like this, and I feel like, you know how sometimes like you have those sort of friends, you like invite them over for a cup of tea and they're like, oh, you know, I prefer something a little more basic. I think like that friend would actually enjoy this. Like if you're like that, where you don't really love like crazy flavored teas and you like to stick to things that are more, I guess, I don't want to say traditional, because an apple green tea is not really traditional in any way, but it's definitely more of that like traditional vibe where it's like, it tastes like tea. Like it doesn't taste like something you wouldn't expect. Like it definitely tastes like an apple tea. I really like it though. I really do. I feel like this could make a good base for like a caramel apple tea if they would have thrown in some like caramel bits or something, or a really cool like green apple chai would have been nice. Like if they sort of mixed elements from this with elements of David's Tea's Kashmiri chai, like if they threw in maybe some cardamom or something, it would have made a really cool chai. But for what it is, it's really, really nice. I'm really glad that they brought it back, because I guess it's not really as like unique and special as I imagined it would be. So I guess like trying it now, I'm like, okay, so, you know, you didn't really miss out on anything that like revolutionary or like crazy, you know, but it's good. It's definitely something I would choose to drink, because it's like, it's my personal preference. I love green teas, especially in the morning. And that apple flavor really is nice. It really is kind of like a September flavor, you know, like when you go to an apple orchard. My husband and I really have been like wanting apple cider and apple cider donuts and things. So I think when he gets home today, I'm gonna give him a cup of this and see what he thinks, because it almost has that vibe. It has like the apple and the cinnamon, but in a green tea base. And the green tea is really mild. Like it doesn't really provide like a strong grassiness or anything like that. It really just complements the apple flavor really nice. So I really like this because you're getting like all that like those fall vibes from the apple and the cinnamon, but then you're also getting your antioxidants from that green tea. It would be cool if it had like a buttery element to like replicate the crust, and if it had like a couple more spices, but I guess it's not really meant to be a chai, so no reason to bring it into chai territory if that's not what it's supposed to be, but I think it's really good. It's kind of basic, so if you're not like really into green tea like I am, you can probably skip this one, especially if you really like Honeycrisp apple. I think that one is a little more complex, I guess. Like there's just a little more to it. You know what I mean? Like it has more ingredients. It's a little more like well thought out. I feel like this one probably was toward the beginning of DAVIDSTEA's like journey when they weren't making anything that crazy. Also, it's not as good as Forever Nuts, but if you're looking for something without nuts that kind of has that vibe, this might work too, because that apple cinnamon thing. But if you were choosing between this and Forever Nuts as far as like what tastes better, I'd still have to go with Forever Nuts. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Mom's Apple Pie from DAVIDSTEA, this long awaited tea that I couldn't wait to try. But if you made it this far through the video, let me know in the comments if your family goes apple picking for fall. Like, do you guys do that? Is it a tradition? Is it something you do every couple years? So let me know about that. I haven't been since I was a kid, but I would really like to go if possible this year, if we can find a way to social distance while doing that. That would be really fun. And also, what's your favorite apple tea? I love DAVIDSTEA's Forever Nuts, but I don't really think of it as an apple tea, even though it is like apple, cinnamon, and almonds. I can think of it as more of like a cinnamon, like almond sweet tea. But I think my favorite right now is Adagio's apple chai, the one that I was showing you guys. I've been just loving it. It's like a lighter chai with like that tang from the apple, and it's been really, really nice. I've been really enjoying that since the weather started to get a little cooler and sort of chai season began. But this one is awesome. I'm definitely gonna finish it off. I'm gonna drink through it probably really fast. Might even drink it as my morning tea. But I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.